Hey everybody, forgive my hair, it's windy out here, and this is Teresa. We just spent the last 24 hours sheltering in place here at the hostel for the rain, and she's southbound, I'm northbound today, so let's see, what's that called you're doing again? A roundabout?
Wraparound.
A wraparound.
Like roundabout, yeah.
A wraparound, yeah. So
wraparound.
so let's see, she's got less miles to go than I do, which means hopefully she'll get down to Georgia and then flip up to Maine, and she'll see me
on the upside.
On the upside, yeah, there you go. So
good. Thank you for all
anyway,
your wisdom.
You bet.
And teaching me how to put on my pack.
There you go. We did some adjustments, so hopefully it'll work today.
Yes, it feels good.
Anyway, good to have a good hike, and we'll see you down the trail.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye. Hey, good morning, everybody. I kind of look like a gnome, and to Romy gnome out there hiking, that's a compliment now. Hope you're doing well. Hey, so this is day 7. April the 7th, just having recovered from a hostel stay for a 0 with all the bad weather. I guess tornadoes did come through northern Virginia yesterday. Silver girl, who I meant to get a video with her, and I missed the opportunity. I feel bad about it. A pretty cool kid who's kind of out of college and wants to be a teacher, and she's packing on the miles, and very tenacious. You know, a young woman that any boss would love to hire. Anyway, she reported back at a text to Teresa that I guess she got caught in some hail yesterday on the trail. So anyway, Stamps has already passed me this morning. Of course, I knew that would happen. He's a fast hiker. Today, I thought my goal is to get to Manassas Gap shelter. It's about a 10.5. It's a little uphill today, but I think I should be able to do that. Yes, it did resupply, so yes, the pack's heavy. But the water situation this side looks a little bit better, so I'm just going to drink a liter and then carry a liter today to be able to help with that. The extra food weight. What I thought today too is I would kind of share with you how I do my food. You know, now this morning I would have had just some oatmeal. Eventually I'll get around to doing some granola. But they had a great meal this morning down at Mountain Home, and had two pieces of French toast that were done with whole grain bread, and some fresh fruit, and some homemade grape juice, and very good, very filling, and real maple syrup, and some good butter, and it was an excellent breakfast this morning. So that was my breakfast. Now as I go today, I'll share with you just the things I'm snacking on and when I snack on them. Not anything scientific, but you know, sometimes when I watch videos, I was always curious about the nutrition part, because even after, you know, I'm getting close to 1,000 miles now, I'm still working on it. So, okay, if I'm working on it, other people are maybe working on it or wondering about it. So I thought I'd kind of share some of the meal stuff with you today. So, all right, let's go hike on. And as you can tell, it's a little windy. I'm down to 2 layers now from 3. And still kind of cold, but it's okay. I'd rather hike this way than dripping with sweat. So, all right, down the road. Bye. Okay, so I'm walking along looking for a place to take a break. I look up and I see that beautiful log hung up there. Was not expecting to see that. The trail today has been good. It was an uphill climb. 1,000 feet, I think, in the end. So really I've been climbing most of the morning, and just now kind of reached the top, and now I'm kind of been doing some more kind of I call it military crest, which is just down from the exact ridge line. Kind of some ups and downs. A few places with some rocks, and places like this that it's not too bad, where you can lengthen your stride a little bit. You know, look for a place to have a little break for a snack, and I'll share that with you when I do. Okay, everybody, I've hiked about 2 hours, and I've got about 2 miles, mile an hour, and it was all uphill, which for me at this stage of my hike is about normal. I'll be able to increase that pace as I break my body back in again. So, you know, a couple of hours into it, time for a snack. Then do a pair lunch about 12:30, another snack at about 2:30 or so. What do I have in my snack pack for today? I got some cheese Ritz, got some Welch's fruit snacks, got some little mini Snickers. Those I can kind of maybe eat on a little bit throughout the morning. I've got one of these kind breakfast honey bars. There's I think 2 bars in there. So now I just need to decide which one I want for right now. Maybe I'll do the Ritz crackers and a couple of Snickers bars, and then get hiking again. Although on second thought, I typically will do crackers when I have more water to drink. So maybe I'll do those at my water stop. So, I think I'll do the fruit snacks. I think I'm going to go for sugar. I'm going to do fruit snacks and Snickers. This is the turnoff to Mosby Campground. This is an area where Confederate General Mosby and his irregulars made their camp. They were guerrilla fighters. They didn't have uniforms because of the poverty in the South. So the Union soldiers started catching them and hanging them, when really they were soldiers and they should have been treated as POWs instead of spies. And so Mosby decided that he'd start catching the Union officers and hanging them by the trees. And so after a while of that back and forth, they had a little parley and decided they would stop capturing each other's guys and hanging them, and actually start treating people as POWs like they should have been all along. So things sometimes can escalate out of control, and then it's time to talk. Isn't that how it is in things with the military, in politics, in marriages? Sometimes things escalate to the point where they go over the brink, and now it's time to pull back, have a little parlay, and get back to civility. So anyway, that's my words of thought for today, that sometimes you gotta parlay and get back to civility in whatever situation you're in. Sometimes it's with yourself. Sometimes you just gotta parlay with yourself too and go, okay, what's going on here? You know? Teenagers are famous for beating themselves up without really knowing why they're doing it. And sometimes that goes over into adulthood too. People beat themselves up without even knowing why, because now it's become a habit. So I'm guilty of that at times. Harder on myself than I should. This walk, even though sometimes I struggle as people fly by me that I'm, not doing it right or not doing it well enough, I gotta just keep going back to, hey, it's my hike, it's my experience, I'm gonna do it the way that I'm gonna do it. We all have woulda, shoulda, couldas in life, and I have some woulda, shoulda, couldas on the trail, maybe, perhaps, but those are all second guesses and afterthoughts and hindsights, and sometimes you really don't get to go do redos on that. You just learn from it, and you adapt, improvise, and overcome. Right, early riser? Adapt, improvise, and overcome. All right, hope to see him in a little bit. He was in Front Royal with his family, taking a zero the same time I was taking a zero in there in Front Royal at Mountain Home. So he's got his family, so maybe he'll still pass me, unless he got up at dark 40 this morning and took off and already had 10 miles in by the time I woke up. That's a compliment, early riser, by the way. That's not a criticism. I never criticize another hiker. I'm gonna make sure I try not to do that this time. Everybody has their own path, and so with that, I was pretty hard on a guy back at Neil's Gap that hiked with me through Towiah Bald. Clark is his name, And I'd like to take an opportunity to apologize to him publicly. I probably didn't treat him all that well, and I wanted to try and do that personally, face to face, but my first contact with him didn't go all that well, and before I could offer an apology, he asked me never to contact him again, so I feel bad about that. I hate to leave things unsettled. So, by some reason, if anybody out there knows Clark, you know, get him a message that I really do feel bad. I feel sad that things ended up the way they did. So, a wall at some point in time was used. Heck, maybe during the Civil War. I don't know. I'm not that much of a buff on that stuff. So what I tell you and relate to you, I've picked up from other hikers. To be honest with you, it's not like I know a lot of that stuff about the history. I'm just trying to pass on what I hear. So anyway, those are my reminiscences for the morning, and as I hike down a pretty good trail here this morning. Like I said, man, big climb up, 1,000 feet, and then just right now some ups and downs. Past the water source back behind me that was not good for getting water. So I've got to stop here in a minute, and so that's where I'm at. I've got about 800 milliliters that I'm carrying. I'm not sweating that much because it's freezing cold. Those two little mini Snickers that I ate were hard. So the 2 hours they've been out here, they went from room soft to well, I could eat them. They weren't like rock hard like they were frozen, but they had definitely a different consistency. My, this is a nice path. I can see one blaze, two blaze, a double blaze. Very seldom do you get to have that kind of line of sight. This is awesome. All right, everybody. It's kind of what the trail looks like right now as I head to the roller coaster tomorrow. Okay, for the food count, it's about 11:30, feeling a little low of energy. So I popped another little Snickers mini to give me a little boost. So I'm just kind of keeping track of that for you. And got some buds here starting to come out here at this lower altitude. So spring is on the way. See you in a minute. Well, it's a little early to stop for lunch. It's a little before noon, so I'm making some pretty good time. But the shelter's right here. It's just right on the trail, and it's a nice one. So I want to come down and check it out. Get out of this wind for a little bit to eat. Last year, this was my plan. I was planning on staying here, but you know, things change a little bit. Looks like they've had some trees that have given them some problems here. There's a privy over there. Looks like here's a pavilion. And here's the shelter. Oh, cool. There's horseshoes. And that's the solar shower down there. Not going to use it today, though. Ooh, 2 or 3 days ago we could have, but not today. All right. I dropped my pack, and I'll show you what's left for lunch. Okay, so here's a lunch for me today. 2 of these sandwich thins. This is what they come in the package they come in. There's 8 of them. So 2 of those with some cheese on them and some tuna salad. And a kind oat and honey. The Nature Valley I may just hold off and put it back in my pack. We'll see how hungry I am, since I already have that kind bar, and then a couple of minis to kind of touch it off for dessert. So that is lunch today. So I was just packing up from lunch, getting ready to leave, and a trail runner, not a ridge runner, just a guy out running the trails came in to check out the the shelter area, and we struck up a conversation, and he grew up in the same town that I currently live in, down there in the Panhandle, and it's pretty phenomenal. Not many people have heard of where I live, and to run into a guy that grew up there, that's pretty fun. We thought that was pretty funny, up in the middle of the woods on the Appalachian Trail. So anyway, you just never know. All right, talk to you later. I think this is Manassas Gap. It's kind of dangerous curve here. Not much of a shoulder. Cool stone gate. All right. Catch my breath and do a climb. Not a bad one though. I'm climbing this hill. I got too hot with my third layer on, so I had to take my windshield off. There's also my raincoat, which you can't see right now, because I've got some snow flurries coming down at me, and I just had a swig of water and another Snicker mini. Interesting, I'm climbing to altitude and I'm coming across foliage. Normally you'd have this at lower altitude first, so this is interesting. Maybe this has more of a southern exposure. I need to check my compass. Interesting. I love it. Green grass, little snow flurries, and a bench, and a log to put your foot on. I love it. Because you have to stop and sit on it. It would just be wrong to keep going and not take a moment to sit down. All right, I'm going to do that. Heading over that way next. Okay, I said Manassas Gap right there by the road. That was actually just Virginia 638. This down there is actually Manassas Gap, and that's I-66. It's about 2 in the afternoon, and I'm now eating my granola bar and hiking down some rocks. See you later.
Hey there, this is Gray Ghost with Big Bird, and he's coming up finishing his long distance hike. He's going to go from Luray to Maine this year, so that's a real feat. Congratulations on it.
Thank you.
And I maintain this 2-mile section from Interstate 66 over to Fire Run Road, which is Route 638. And I enjoy working on it. I've been doing it about 14 years. It's a real passion of mine. So right now I'm out here training on it. Every other day I do a 10 to 14 mile hike with 34 pounds of water bottles in my pack. And that way I'll be ready to go when I get back on the trail on May 16th, my birthday. So I'll be going from Connecticut up to Maine. I did Georgia, the state park down there. I did Georgia to Connecticut last year, and I had to get off because of snow and so on in November. But I'm back at it in May to finish.
Hey, kind of a similar story. We're both lashing it together to make it work.
Yeah.
And Gray Ghost here built the bench that I just took a break on, and I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad you like the bench. I get a lot of compliments on that bench.
I do. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, maybe depending on how you go, and I'm going to get on May 16th, but I don't know if you'll be up that way by.
I'm a slow hiker, so we'll see.
I don't know. It's not that. You may. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
But I wish you the best.
Oh, you too.
Happy trails.
All right. Happy trails. Let's go hike on. Bye bye. Okay. Here's a little more detail. Mosby was a colonel, and it says, in case you can't read it, the next 27 miles of the Appalachian Trail between Manassas and Snickers Gaps follow what was from 1863 to 1865, the western boundary of Mosby's Confederacy, the base of operations for Confederate Partisan Ranger, Colonel John Singleton Mosby. Okay, I just went under I-66 to Tucker's Lane. A little parking lot here. Really nice house over here. Very patriotic, flags everywhere. Couldn't help but to give one of them a good salute. Just in my nature, I guess. And, some nice stonework here on this bridge. I haven't drank enough water today, even though I have a half a liter. So I gotta force myself here to take a quick break and get some water. Alright, since it's 3 o'clock and I've got to go get some water, I'm going to go ahead now and eat my Ritz crackers. Since they do dry my mouth out, that way I can get some water to wash them down. So this is let's see, I've got one more snack and a couple of, I guess I got another kind. I got the kind breakfast oat and honey left, as well as a couple of the Snickers minis, and that'll finish me up for my hiking snacks before dinner. This is right on the side of the trail. Just happens to be where how some bushes got pushed over and then vines grew on it. The survivalist in me says, wow, that's pretty cool. All you gotta do is throw some more leaves on top to keep the rain out, and there's an instant survival shelter. This wouldn't take much to make that one into a nice lean-to. It's kind of cool. Whew, I'll tell you, I'm running out of steam. I still have my breakfast snack left, that kind breakfast bar. But I don't feel like eating it, to be honest with you. I think it would make me sick if I tried. So I'm just kind of running out of steam right now. Of course, it could be the second 1,000-foot climb for today. And I went up and did a little fake on me, a little head fake. I climbed up about 200 feet and had to go back down again. And then I started back up. So, that does some stuff to your head. Plus, somewhere along the line today, I just tweaked my left knee just a little bit. It's grumbling and complaining. It's got to go up an up step, like a stair. So, got to kind of watch it. Do some rubbing on it tonight. Do a little IT band stretching. Can't take any meds, anti-inflammatory, so maybe I'll try some holy basil tea tonight. All right, hey, I don't think I'm at the top. I think I still got another 500 feet, so maybe this is a little reprieve for a minute. I just hope it doesn't go back down and then back up again. But hey, I remember Hamfist last year. He didn't even look at the elevations anymore. He said, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna climb them and descend them anyway. So why should I look at them? And in a way, probably good philosophy. I'm gonna do it anyway. Stop worrying about it, all right? Just go do it. Whew. All right, everybody. It's 40. Best I can tell, it's somewhere between freezing and 41 degrees. At least that was the temperature down at one of the reporting stations in the valley. So we'll see. Snow flurries have stopped. My icebreaker smart walls in my base layer, and I've got another secondary base layer, Patagonia, that's 20 years old. That's my second layer, and I'm still trying to sweat a little bit in it, so definitely don't want to have my wind shell on or I'll get wet. So just dealing with the cold, just keep hiking and keep moving. Looks like I got a tent coming up. Somebody setting up a stealth tent. So it may make him a little bit nervous to be filming, so I'm gonna say goodbye for now. Okay, so about 4 o'clock, my little wave of nausea kind of left me, and I got up to a little flat spot on my climb. I ate the last 2 of my Snickers minis, so that puts me having that kind oat and honey breakfast bar left for my traveling food, and don't seem to need it or want it right this very minute. If I don't eat it by the time I get to camp, it'll probably be something I eat while I either sit up my tent or while I'm waiting for my water to boil, or save it for a rainy day when I'm hungry tomorrow a little more than normal, or for breakfast, since the oatmeal may start getting not substantive enough. But so you saw I sloshed through mud and water. Now I got a rock field to navigate here. So anyway, I'm gonna put this away before I drop the phone. I've been coming across quite a few of these stone walls here as I've been walking. This one's in some of the best conditions of the ones that I've seen. A lot of them have started to deteriorate and fall down. That one's got a nice clean edge on it. So I'm at the cutoff here. I don't think I want to do another 5 miles to Dick's Dome. I'm kind of done for the day. So hey, there's a really nice camping site right there next to the trail. And apparently the Manassas got shelters down here. It's a 1939 shelter, so chances are good Earl Schaefer, when he did his first through hike, probably stayed here. Let's see. Looks like we got somebody here already. With a dog. Maybe. Looks like it, perhaps. Or maybe not. No, I think it was just a shadow moving around. Alright. Oh, cool little cabin looking thing. That's kind of neat. If I'm gonna camp, I might have to go back up to the road intersection there. Oh, there was a dog. Hey, how are you, huh? Okay, what's for dinner? So I've got one of these North Select pasta sides. It's rice, it's a 4-cheese risotto. Okay. That with some butter. Alright, and some milk, that Nido milk. I've got some, I'm going to put a little bit in there. The instructions call for 1.5 cups of water, 1 cup of milk. Well, that's 2.5 cups. This thing will only have 2, so it's going to be 2. Besides that, cooking with the freezer bag cooking, you end up with, I end up with soupy stuff. Anyways, I'm assuming this is going to work. So then I'll have a couple of rounds here of my thins and some beef jerky for the protein. So that's kind of dinner. Well, I'm here at Manassas Gap Shelter, and it's the end of the day. You can see that the sun is actually out. It hasn't been out for most of the afternoon. The wind is still blowing pretty good, although it's a little calm right here. I had a hard time blocking the wind from my stove to work real well. Let's see. The risotto turned out perfect with the 2 cups instead of the 2.5. I figured that in the process of trying to boil that you're going to lose some of that moisture, and that's what they account for. So since you're doing the freezer bag cooking, you don't need that extra liquid. It's not going to boil off. So 2 cups worked well. And let's see. I'm cold, I'm shivering, I can feel my body compromised a little bit, so even though I've got some warm food in me now, I'm going to just go get in my under my quilt and see if I can't kind of get warm. I kind of got chilled to the bone here. This pretty icy cold. It's gonna be, I think, 31 tonight. It was supposed to be 34. I'm gonna recheck the weather, but definitely a night to put the batteries in the phone and the Sawyer in the bottom of the bag, so it'll stay dry. So anyway, just to kind of give you a little panorama here. Here's my food bag up on the pole, and anyway, so today was a day when you got to see what I kind of eat, if you will, and when. And it was probably about 6 o'clock about the time that I ate dinner. So, and it's maybe a little early to go to bed, but these guys are out having fun talking to their cousins. One's from Maryland, one's from Delaware. They do this about twice a year. They get their dogs with them. So I'm gonna see how that goes. I haven't had to shelter in with the dog yet. The campsites here, the only one that was decent that I liked has a widowmaker above it. So I liked, with the wind, I didn't feel comfortable sleeping under a widowmaker with this kind of wind going on. So I went ahead and picked a spot in the shelter for the night, and it's an old 1939 shelter, so it was probably one that Earl Schaefer stayed in when he came through. I wouldn't doubt it if he did. But then again, he did a lot of sleeping in the woods with his raincoat over top of him and a hat to block the wind. So anyway, what else? Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow's I think tomorrow's like 14 or so. It's going to test my mettle tomorrow to see if I can get to Rod Hollow Shelter to prep myself for the roller coaster. So tomorrow's a big day. Try and get up early. So I'll see you later. Bye.